Boys Talk Wrestling. Boys Talk Wrestling. Boys Talk Wrestling. BTW, 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 BTW.
Welcome to episode number 3 of Boys Talk Wrestling. I'm Colin, and I'm being joined by Lamb.
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's me, Lamb.
And, of course, our third man, Came Lion.
What's happening?
First off, we should probably address why we're not doing any of the suggestions that we received. Lamb, do you want to address that?
Yeah, I got this. So, the first recommendation or suggestion that we got was December to Dismember from Vita. I want to take Vita out of this because, I don't want to make it sound like we play favorites here, because we did do Tilt's suggestion and we did not do Vita's. The main problem with December to Dismember is that it's already well documented as an awful pay-per-view, and literally everybody and their grandma have talked about it.
It's been done to death.
Yeah, and part of the Boys Talk Wrestling show that we wanted to do is kind of just find more, random pay-per-views.
Yeah, we kind of just wanted to do like a potpourri of shows, so to speak.
Yeah.
Going all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to say that we will probably never do December to Dismember.
At least not for a long time.
Yeah, but then on Twitter, I got a suggestion from Avances who wanted us to do SummerSlam 2003. We'll take a look at that. I don't know if it's going to be a upcoming episode. At least what I've thought that we should try and do is bounce from promotion. So we did a WCW, we did a WWF, now we're doing ECW. So yeah,
that one we might get to later, but just figured we should go somewhere else for at least a little bit here.
Yeah, so that
a different era, a different company.
Yeah, that brings us to Hardcore Heaven 97.
Yeah, that is the show we watched this time. Hardcore Heaven, ECW Hardcore Heaven, 1997. It took place August 17th, 1997, from the War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in front of an estimated 1,800 people. This was ECW's second ever pay-per-view. There was an estimated 35,000 watching at home.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not a bad number. It's down from their first pay-per-view, which was 45,000, I think. But, just for, reference, when WWE, at the very end of their pay-per-view run, they were doing 100,000 domestic buys. So, it's not a bad number, really, I'd say.
Yeah, and they were doing their partnership with the WWF at this time.
The Fed.
Right. Also, not to even mention the fact that ECW wasn't even cleared on every pay-per-view provider. There were some that were didn't want to touch them because of the fact that they were ECW. So,
I wouldn't touch this shit if I was a company man.
Well, in this show they actually they purposely tried to tone stuff down a bit on this show just because they wanted to be more pay-per-view friendly.
It didn't tone down the headshots, that's for sure.
We'll get to all that. So, a cold open with the fans chanting ECW, which is pretty much how every ECW show opens.
ECW, BTW, BTW.
And Joey Styles standing in the middle of the ring. He ran down the card, and then WWF's Rick Rude interrupted him. Styles,
You sold out.
They chanted "You sold out" at him. Styles said that he knows that Rude can kick his ass, but he said that Rude turned his back on ECW and hired himself out to, quote, some male boy toy wrestler from another organization. And he then gave the mic to Rick Rude, apparently refusing to interview him. Rick Rude said he didn't care what Styles thinks. And then he said he wanted, quote, you fat, out of shape, Lauderdale losers to button your lips, open your eyes, and give your utmost respect to the next ECW World Television Champion. No gimmicks needed, Chris Candido.
Wow. That's like
No gimmicks needed.
it's like Rick Rude's in our call right now, dude. That was a great impression.
Thanks, dude.
So full thing saying this intro was I just felt real nasty just because of all the sweaty dudes in the crowd.
It seemed like it was definitely really hot in there.
It just had a real
like
indie
everybody
feel
was
to
sweaty
it.
as fuck,
Yeah,
like
you
from
could-
the wrestlers to everybody.
You could smell the room.
So Todd Gordon came out. Todd Gordon, the on-screen commissioner, the original owner and founder of ECW. He told Rick Rude that he didn't have a manager's license, and so he had 10 seconds to leave. Rude was beginning to respond, but then Todd Gordon just began his 10 count, and Rude got all scared and he went to the back. But as he was leaving, he made sure to flip him off and yell, "Fuck you, Gordon!"
Yeah, the crowd started chanting too. They were going in.
Anybody else hear the commissioner's voice crack when he was talking to
Oh,
Rude?
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It was real bad.
That was a good
It's kind of
one.
funny.
Yeah, I was raffling.
So then a classic ECW opening video package played us in.
I was
So,
You know, with the song that goes, mm, mm.
yeah.
You know what song I'm talking about.
that's just like
It is pretty crazy because, I mean, this is kind of a tangent, but WCW also did that kind of like intro where it's just like a weird noise. But yeah, the WWF did not do that shit. They had good songs.
like saliva.
Oh yeah.
So it was time for our opening contest. It was the ECW television champion Taz versus Chris Candido for the TV title. The ring announcer said that it was the first of 3 main events, which is not a thing.
Open up with a main event.
Yeah.
I'm glad that this wasn't the main event.
Yeah, Joey Styles called this a purest dream match. I don't know how valid that statement is.
I think he just meant that in the sense that they're both like really good mat technicians.
Aha.
Oh yeah, the technicalities of standing there with your arms crossed for 5 minutes, not doing anything. Ooh.
Yeah, so very, very early on in the match, Taz countered Leapfrog by kicking Candido in the dick, which was the first like real slap in the face that this is in fact an ECW match. Yeah, they did do some pretty nice mat work throughout this match, but anytime they did, the crowd just went completely silent.
Yeah, they wanted to see people bleed, not mat wrestle.
Yeah.
Well, Taz, like, as I was saying, he opened the match by not participating in it and just
Oh yeah,
looking
he was
at
no
him.
selling.
He was intimidating him.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, Candido goes for a clothesline, and then Taz is, like, selling everything. It was very weird. I thought he would at least, like, keep that up or something. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
he just goes from like not selling anything to just he starts selling out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
But if you pin him, dude, it's a 1 count. He doesn't know how to kick out at 2, so he just kicks out at 1 every time.
This match, that's actually something like about this match in general, is that like everything they did looked good, but there was just like no transitions whatsoever in this match. It'd be like one person was selling and then all of a sudden come back, and then the other person was selling and then they would do something. There was no transitions at all.
Yeah, I was about done with Tito Ortiz by the end of the match, so. That's
Is that
Chris
Taz?
Candido. Now,
Oh, they're
Yeah.
both like these big bald guys.
yeah, so at that, like, I was done halfway through. I just wanted it to end.
Okay, so Candido did a top rope Frankensteiner followed by a big diving headbutt. And then shortly after, Taz gave Candido an overhead belly to belly from off the top rope, then a German suplex, and then a T-bone suplex where Candido landed right on his head.
That did not look comfortable at all.
I didn't
Yeah.
see one safe German suplex throughout this whole show. Everybody's landing on their
Yeah,
heads.
everybody was bumping crazy.
Ouch.
And then later on in the show, Candido came out with a neck brace, which I think may have been related.
If I had to guess.
Taz locked on the Taz mission, and Candido tapped for
Taz mission.
Taz to retain the television title.
And a couple of quick side notes. I don't know if you guys saw, but the first girl shown on in the crowd was seen during this match. She was with her boyfriend, and she kind of liked it. I could tell.
I
she
did
looking good?
sort of try to keep track of the amount of females in the crowd. I think I ended up. I didn't really
I saw
look
two.
all that closely. I think I counted 4 in total.
Yeah, but and then also this is our first dead wrestler, or actually 2 dead wrestlers cited.
No, I'll get to that in a second here.
Oh shit.
Just to cap off the match. I thought it was all right, but it did not at all feel like a super hot start, which I was sort of expecting. What did y'all think?
It was just kind of
got your thoughts already.
a wrestling match.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Had some crazy top rope spots, you know.
Yeah, I had no idea what to expect from the card because I didn't know the card, and this was not the starter that I wanted. I wanted some flippy shit.
So yeah, like you touched on, after this opening segment / match, the death count at the show is 2 already. Rick Rude died in 1999 of heart failure from a drug overdose, and Chris Candido died in 2005 of acute pneumonia.
Yeah, that's karma for Rick Rude.
I suspect the death count for this episode will be a bit higher than the last episode.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
a hunch. Just a hunch.
ECW.
So Styles shilled the next pay-per-view a bit, which will be November to Remember. Then they started showing part of the Dark segment, which was the Insane Clown Posse out there
This was the main event.
Putting over their favorite wrestler, Rob Van Dam.
Woo!
But then as they were all like with their arms in the air and whatnot, Van Dam just randomly attacked the clowns and then was joined by the ECW heavyweight champion Sabu, who also helped beat up the clowns.
Yeah, Sabu concussed one of them. Can't tell you which one it was, but he freaking killed him.
Yeah, they both looked the same in '97. I was kind of confused.
They did look way more similar than I expected, because now they're like really discernible. Yeah. I could tell by the voice which one Violent J was.
Yeah, I could tell, but I do want to point out that Sabu is extremely professional, being the champion, coming out in a suit. Like, he came to the arena with the suit on.
Yeah, he had a suit on, which I guess was supposed to be his impression of the Sheik, his uncle.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's really respectable, making the ECW roster look great by having a suit on your champ.
Back to the arena for an ECW revenge match. Whatever the hell that means.
Didn't Sandman come out and then he got beat up?
No, that's later. That's later.
Okay. Never mind. Idiot. I'm sorry, guys.
You better edit that.
Back to the arena for an ECW revenge match between Spike Dudley and Bam Bigelow.
This was a good match.
So we watched this on the WWE Network, and there was nothing but edited music and stuff throughout the show.
I didn't
which
notice that.
You did not
Yeah,
notice that.
I thought
Didn't
they
notice
just I
when
thought
Tommy
they just
Dreamer
didn't
came
have
out.
entrance themes. I thought it
No,
was just
dude,
some
it
low
was
budget bullshit.
no, dude. It was like literally every single match. It was very clearly like there was piped in cheers and stuff over it too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. So in this match, both Spike Dudley and Bam Bam came out to some terrible network inserted music, and it's because like ECW, they always used to use like actual licensed songs
Yeah.
for their entrances. So yeah, and then WWE, I guess, just didn't feel like paying for it.
Fair enough.
So Joey Styles claimed that Bam Bam Bigelow was down to the lightest he has ever been in his wrestling career, which has to be a lie because the first thing I thought when I saw Bigelow was that he looked particularly fat.
He's a big boy.
I never
mean,
thought that.
I've seen him fatter, but he was looking pretty big heel too.
Yeah, I didn't think Bam Bam was ever not fat.
He was never not fat, but he just looked especially fatter on this night. And also, not to mention, he got blown up about 20 seconds in.
Yeah. He took a Dudley dog.
So, this match consisted of...
Fucking Dudley dog.
Yeah, the Dudley dog out the, where you do the
Oh, I know what
bulldog.
you're talking about.
Yeah, good old Dudley dog.
bulldog, yeah. So Bigelow killed Spike with various slams and such in this match. Maybe the most memorable moment of the entire show was when Bam Bam Bigelow gorilla press slammed Dudley, Spike Dudley, that is, literally about 10 feet into the crowd.
Yeah.
Fucking killed this geek.
Which led to Styles' first "Oh my God" of the night. It wasn't in "Oh my God," but it was one of those "Oh my God."
Yeah.
No, he does that. It's like a level below.
Yeah, I wrote down in my notes. Spike Dudley fucking died, and then when he got,
I said that too.
Yeah, when he got out of the, when they pulled him out from the crowd, I was like, Spike Dudley repeatedly got stabbed in the crowd, because there was so much blood.
Yes, he was bleeding big time.
I don't know how that even happened, dude. I think he actually got stabbed.
No.
That's my hunch.
Or because untrained. There was one spot where Bigelow threw Spike onto the steel cable on the ring post. That it looked like it may have cracked a few ribs.
Oh yeah, it looked like he hit his head on the.
Oh yeah, it absolutely killed him.
Yeah, he hit his head on the post, and then Joey Styles was like, "Oh my God, his ribs got hit."
Yeah, Spike Dudley, he had one role in this match, and pretty much one role his entire career, and that was to be killed.
To fucking die.
Yes.
What a career.
So yeah, this was nothing but just a 5-minute squash, but it felt much higher than the opener, which should probably tell you something about what the crowd is here to see.
Yeah, they were going wild for Spike. I mean, even when Spike came out, he had this shtick where he would throw a chair at the barricade. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was throwing chairs all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, he just throws stuff.
He was moshing out there, dude.
So yeah, Spike's a beast.
It ended when Bam Bam Bigelow did a shitty version of a moonsault.
He did a Twisted Bliss, thank you very much.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Yeah, he had some good moves.
Shades of Alexa. Al Kaufman.
Did you like it when he would throw Spike out of the ring and start dancing and doing the
cartwheels?
Yeah, he is feeling himself. Oh yeah, let me just fucking kill this 100-pound wrestler and then get my shit in the ring.
So yeah, after the match, they brought a guy with a literal mop into the ring to sop up Spike's blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there's another really interesting part. So this lady runs out with gloves on, and Spike's rolling out of the ring, so she takes a towel and grabs him by the head
Yeah, they wanted to bandage him up as soon as possible, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and like drags him out by his head. It looked very sloppy, but yeah.
Also, you can put the death count at 3, as Bam Bigelow died of a drug overdose in 2007.
How the hell is Spike still alive?
Rip Bam Bam. Well-
Spike somehow is like perfectly fine, as far as I know.
Well, we don't really know if Spike's an addict or not, do we? Is he an addict?
I think he was always clean.
Yeah, so he just took all the bumps, but he wasn't taking any needles, so that's what will get you.
He still probably might have some trouble later on in life.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably addicted to some painkillers, but aren't we all?
He's probably got a little bit of CTE too.
Yeah, just a little.
Well, at least he's not, like, big enough to, like, kill any of his spouses or anything, you know what I mean? Like, any girl that he gets with is probably bigger than him.
Anyways, I went back to showing more of the dark segment. And this is where Sandman came out, looking to help the clowns, but then he was killed by RVD and Sabu as well.
I put RVD takes him, gives him a concussion, and then I put Sandman has CTE, and that's
okay. So no. Here's the moment right here. So Sabu threw a chair at Sandman's head, and you could see Sandman literally move his head to headbutt the chair.
Yeah, he leaned into it
as it came in, just to make it that much worse.
What is this guy's problem?
Gotta prove just how tough he is, you know?
You know, it's kind of crazy that when Sandman came back to the WWE in 2006 or whatever, he looked like he was in better shape than he was in 97. Because he was looking extra big. He was looking
from the neck
big.
down, maybe.
Yeah, he had quite the gut.
His hair was flowing in the wind tonight. It looked fabulous.
Back to the arena again for a special attraction match. They just had these weird names for all the matches. I don't even know.
I wasn't sure what the rules were, but
it was Monday Night Wrestling.
No,
that was the rules.
So it was between Rob Van Dam and Al Snow. The announcer said that this match would have Monday Night Wrestling rules, but that ended up not coming into play at all whatsoever because they still used chairs and brawled on the outside just like everybody else on this show. So I don't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah, this was my first ECW show, so I would have liked if they would have said, "This is an Extreme Rules match."
Well, it's just assumed.
Yeah.
In ECW.
Well, I would go back. I would, as executive of the network, I would go back and edit each match to get piped in audio to say Extreme Rules match.
So the network decided to give Al Snow some wacky techno music.
Oh, yeah. The Snow always looked confused as hell when he comes out. He looked lost.
That's his gimmick, dude.
Okay.
That's what makes him draw dimes.
Also, Joey
Styles
claimed that Al Snow has black belts in karate and jiu-jitsu, which is just total complete bullshit.
He also said he works for Titan Sports, so that's why he's so confused or something like that.
Yeah, they were talking about WWF a whole bunch. It's sort of weird like how like they blatantly dump on WWF. I know how like they're in like a promotional feud, so to speak, in storyline. But they're blatantly working together, cross-promoting with each other, and they still, bag on them. It's sort of weird, but...
Well, Joey Styles is an ECW guy.
Anyways, this match bored the shit out of me.
It was awful. Fucking sucked.
I only wrote down that Al Snow is on some flippy shit, because he tried doing, like, a standing moonsault or something.
So Rob Van Dam is the heel, of course, but the fans did not give two fucks about Al Snow, so it just kind of ended up being nothing.
Does anybody give two shits about Al Snow, though, to be fair?
No, how could they? How could anyone?
Unless he has the head. If he doesn't have the head, then he can't he can't function, because that was
Yeah,
really
head
funny.
was over, he wasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't really like Al Snow. I thought his attire that he was wearing, I forgot what Joey Styles called it. I think he said that they put him in Kurt Hennig's thing. I don't know. I don't remember. But
His singlet.
yeah, like they said something. They buried him, which is really weird because he's the good guy, and Joey Styles already fucking buried him like 5 seconds into the match.
So Snow kicked out of the frog splash, so that's not Rob's finish yet, I guess.
Nah, his finish is the Van Daminator, I believe.
Yeah, that's what he used in this match. They did a lot of brawling on the outside. Bill Alfonso, Rob's manager, the guy with the whistle.
Yeah, what's the backstory on this geek? I've never heard of this guy.
He was he was Rob Van Dam and Sabu's manager in ECW forever, and he pretty much never did anything other than that.
Okay,
Please tell me he joined
Probably
the
because
death count.
Nope. Bill Alfonso is still alive.
God damn it.
Um,
I wanted him to be dead by the end of that match.
Yeah, he's not even a very good talker, like at all. He's just annoying.
Just blows his whistle, and that's it.
He's like, they're not on HBO. It's Showtime, baby.
Yeah, he helped by throwing a chair to Rob, and Rob then threw the chair at Snow, and Snow caught it, and Rob Van Dam gave him the Van Daminator to pick up the win.
That was a cool spot.
Lambent, Van Dam did a monkey flip for you too. Did you get to see the difference between that and the senton?
I mean, I was hoping for a Rolling Thunder. He didn't do a Rolling Thunder.
I don't think he started doing that till, well, he might have done it in ECW.
Rolling Thunder was a monkey flip.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day, and I said that RVD invented the monkey flip. I used the wrong terminology. He invented the Rolling Thunder, though. Nobody's doing that shit.
He invented the Rolling Thunder. They were doing monkey flips in like the 20s and shit, though.
Yeah, anyway, I thought the chair throwing ability was very good. That's what I'll take away from this match. I thought that was really nice.
That's about all there is to take away, really.
I mean, because that's up there with the guy who used to throw Stone Cold Beer. I mean, that was a fucking accurate chair
It was
toss.
a pretty good toss, yeah.
I didn't even see the chair, and then all of a sudden it's on Al Snow, and my guy hits him with the Van Daminator. Also, shout out to whoever designed Van Dam's trunks, or his singlet.
Yeah.
He always had the
Kino design.
I think this might have been like one of the first times he wore it, though. It was the tie-dye, and it had WCW, and
yeah, because he's Mr. Monday Night.
Yeah, he's Mr. Monday Night. The gimmick is that, like, since everybody keeps leaving ECW for WCW and WWF, Rob teases the fans and says he's going to go work for one of those companies too, and he'll be Mr. Monday Night on Nitro or Raw.
Well, and he was on Raw because of their whole deal.
Yeah, he was one of the guys who got to be on Raw too during that period.
Man, I fucking love RVD. I'm so glad we get to see another one of his matches. We're only 3 episodes into BTW, and we've already seen 2 RVD matches. It's only going to get better from here.
Next, we went live to the Extreme Chopper.
This blew me away.
The ambulance that is taking Sandman to the hospital after his attack from Rob Van Dam and Sabu. Lance Wright, the reporter, very, very awkwardly told us what was going on. It seemed like he kind of froze up.
And, yeah, he got lost at the end of this little segment.
Oh, he was
Joey was not saving him.
I was really confused because I didn't understand that Sandman had taken over the ambulance.
Right. Lance Wright completely forgot to tell us at the outset that the Sandman had taken control of the ambulance and was attempting to drive to the arena. So everything else he said after that, like during this segment, made like no sense.
And then randomly he's like, I wish I brought my extra pair of tidy whities.
Yeah, he was all over the place.
The other
totally all over the
thing
place.
is, like, how the hell would he even know that Sandman took over the ambulance?
Well, he must have seen it happen, I guess. Then, luckily, we went back to Joey Styles, and he explained what was going on and said that Sandman had commandeered the ambulance.
Yeah, I was pretty entertained by the fact that they got the extreme chopper. I didn't know that they were gonna do that. I thought it was like, I don't know, I thought it was gonna be fake, and then they like pointed him at him within the chopper, and I was like, oh my god.
This was actually, yeah, like, apparently this was like ECW's attempt at doing something creative and different, and this was like an ongoing storyline throughout the show. But it was just like a total failure. And this actually was live, and Sandman actually was driving the ambulance as well.
Oh, okay, because I
That's
thought
fucking
they
based.
like recorded that before the show, and they
Nope.
just had him like drive around in circles and have the chopper follow him.
Nope, this was actually live.
That's pretty crazy.
Which also explains why Lance Wright's explanation of what was going on sucked so bad, because it was actually live and you didn't get a second chance.
Yeah, they should have had like Paul Heyman up there or something.
Next, a promo by Jerry Lawler.
Lawler said, promo.
Oh yeah.
Lawler said he had just gotten off the phone with Vince McMahon. He said he told Vince this must be the darkest day of his career to be in this dump with all these moron ECW fans. He said Vince told him he admired Lawler for having the guts to go into the Lion's Den alone. Lawler said he wasn't alone because everyone in the WWF was with him in spirit. He went on to claim that The Undertaker told him last week that he wanted to see Tommy Dreamer rest in peace, so give him the Tombstone Pile Driver. Then, King says, his phone rang, and it was Bret Hart calling. And Bret told him that although they hadn't always seen eye to eye, they did see eye to eye on this, and to please finish Dreamer off with the sharpshooter. Then, just before King got on his plane, Steve Austin called him and said King had his permission to open up the biggest can of whoop-ass on Tommy Dreamer that you've ever seen. And King said that's exactly what he's fixing to do. I greatly enjoyed this promo.
You know, it's kind of crazy how the King has more charisma than every one of the ECW wrestlers put together, but...
I mean, Jerry Lawler is like... He really is one of the best promos of all time. A lot of people don't actually really know that because nobody watches, like... Well, modern fans anyways, like, they're not familiar with, like, USWA and all that shit.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I mean, I haven't heard from Prime King in a long time. You know, the last decade I've been dealing with post-heart problems King, and it's really it's a completely different person, you know?
Yeah, if you're only familiar with WWE Jerry Lawler, then this would definitely be quite different.
I'm familiar with doing a TLC match with The Miz, Jerry the King Lawler. So this was a fresh.
Yeah, or pervert Jerry the King Lawler. So, yeah.
Back to the arena where the Dudleys were all in the ring, as was famous porn star Jenna Jameson.
Speaking of good promos, oh boy, Joel Boltner comes out. He's all.
Wait, Joel what? Joel what, Camel?
Ah, jeez. Joel Boltner.
Gertner.
Ah, shoot, I can't read my handwriting. He said his name was Joel. Squeeze my lemon till the juice runs down my leg. Boltner.
Yep.
Yeah.
The crowd were all chanting "Show your tits" at Jenna Jameson.
I thought she was gonna show him, but she didn't.
No.
Yeah, my door was open. I had to pause this promo because he started talking about sluts, and I didn't want Mama hearing that.
I feel
yeah, this was just a lewd promo. But yeah, Joel Gertner was there, and he started the interview. He introduced himself as the quintessential stud muffin. Joel, squeeze my lemon till the juice runs down my leg. Gertner.
Oh, this fucking guy.
The crowd chanted, Gertner's got a Woody.
That was a good chant.
Yeah. Gertner introduced Jenna Jameson. Crowd was really happy to see her. Got really one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah.
Then he introduced all the Dudleys, including himself, Sign Guy Dudley, the man with the 25-inch arms and the 14-inch cut wrists, phallic and metallic, Big Dick Dudley.
Dudley.
As
That's
well
where
as,
Genetti Dudleys were introduced.
as well as
Description.
Devon Dudley and Bubba Ray Dudley. At some point, someone said something that actually got bleeped, which was the first time that had happened in this show. So I don't know. They didn't bleep anything in like the first half of the show, and then they ended up going crazy with the censor after.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed by that because when I tuned into the program, it said, "This is TVMA." So I was expecting, let the words fly, dude.
Yeah, and when you hear like very early on in the show, Rick Rude screaming "Fuck you, Gordon!"
Yeah.
Like you think all bets are off, but no, the intern started going crazy with the censor.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know, I guess they didn't go through the whole thing. They only went through half. But, yeah, I was pretty impressed by, what's his name? Joel Gertner, that guy?
Yep.
He's
Honestly,
pretty good on the mic.
No, he's great, but this wasn't even like the best of Joel Gertner right here. You should watch some Joel Gertner promos.
Yeah, and then I'm also gonna follow that up with saying I was let down by Sign Guy Dudley. Because he didn't even have any signs, dude. He had one sign.
He had like one
That
sign,
was some
yeah.
bullshit.
Like, come on, dude.
Usually he has like a lot of signs, and some of them are actually kind of funny, but didn't really have them this show.
Yeah, I was expecting some epic shit, but it was not. Because they weren't the Dudleys based off of the Hansons from Slapshot?
Maybe.
I don't even know what that is.
The long hair and the glasses, I thought they were.
Yes, Devon and Bubba Ray.
Shut the fuck up, Camel. I'm talking about Big Dick Dudley and fucking Sign Guy Dudley, dude. The Dudley boys weren't even the original Dudleys, you dumbass. God damn it.
Why are you so mad? Why did they point out that the ref was bald?
Well, because they're talking shit, dude. They're heels.
I guess so.
He wasn't even that bald, though.
So, then the USWA Tag Team Champions PG-13 came out.
Yawn.
It was
PG-13.
JC Ice of PG-13, or Jamie Dundee, as Styles called him exclusively. He took the mic before the match to call Mama Dudley a hoe, to call Bubba fat, to say Big Dick Dudley was in fact a big dick. He said Gertner was fat, and then he said, "Hey baby," to Jenna, and he told her what hotel he's staying at.
Yeah.
It was time for the match. Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley versus PG-13, JC Ice, and Wolfie D.
Our boy JC Ice looks like he had a rat on his head.
I will not blame you guys for not knowing who PG-13 is, because I did not know who they were.
I mean, I had to look on Wikipedia. I scrolled down to see if they were in the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame, because usually literal who's that I don't know are in the Hall of Fame. But
that's just because you don't know history like at all.
Yeah, so they weren't in there.
Pre like 2005.
So anyway, the other thing is that Joey Styles, the ECW guy, starts talking up the fucking jobbers from Memphis or wherever the hell they're from. And he's
they were the baby faces.
He's like, oh, they didn't get those belts for no reason. They're the USWA Tag Team Champs. They're no chumps. Fucking, they look like trailer trash, dude.
Well, that can go for pretty much anybody on the show.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point, Camel.
So they were doing a crisscross to start the match when JC Ice slid out of the ring and kissed Jenna Jameson, which the crowd enjoyed very much.
It made me really uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, because she wasn't asking for that kiss. It wasn't consensual. Is
It
that
was
why,
non-consensual.
Yeah, see, that gave me chills. Ugh.
This match was mostly just comedy in general and probably overstayed its welcome a little bit. The Dudleys won with the 3D. Not really much more to say.
Yeah, this
I liked
was,
it okay.
Yeah.
I liked it more than the Van Damme match, at least. Like, nothing could go lower than that at this point.
Yeah, this wasn't last place, but this wasn't first place either. It just existed. But the Dudley boys made it better than it would be without the Dudley boys.
After the match, JC Ice said their mama was still a hoe.
Oh yeah, and they didn't even run back. They just walked out. They're like, "Fuck these kids."
They're geeks. Fuck
There was
them.
a moment during the match where the crowd started chanting "bounce" at Jenna Jameson, and she got "pop of the night" by bouncing.
Yeah, she had the crowd in her hands.
Sadly, you can put the death count at 4 here, as Big Dick Dudley passed away in 2002 of kidney failure.
See ya,
That's so
nerd.
fucked. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing the Dudleys tag team moves. They've always been based.
Yeah, they're
Back
one
to
of the best tag
Extreme
teams.
Chopper.
Oh no.
Get on, remember?
Lance Wright awkwardly stumbled over his words for a while. That's about all there is to it.
Yeah, Sandman still couldn't find the arena. So
In the arena, Jerry Lawler is in the ring. He showed the next WWF pay-per-view, and then he repeated the exact same interview they showed earlier, almost word for word. Except he was telling the crowd this time, I guess.
Yeah.
do you think
Every single point he repeated. It was
literally almost
else.
word for word the same interview.
do you think Lance Wright was supposed to keep it going for longer or something?
Maybe, because he was struggling.
And
He's not having a good night.
and that promo is supposed to be dark for the crowd.
That's
or
actually very possible.
Yeah, I think the Extreme Chopper got botch of the night.
So it
That's
was
debatable.
time for Jerry the King Lawler versus Tommy Dreamer with Beulah McGillicutty.
Beulah was looking good tonight.
She is an attractive lady.
Oh yeah.
Lawler gigged immediately. And I
Oh
mean
yeah,
immediately. They brawled through the crowd. Dreamer beat up Lawler with various objects handed to him by members of the crowd, including a hamburger.
Jeez.
There was a point where he put a popcorn bucket on his head and used that to punch him.
Yeah.
Pretty wacky.
Did you see earlier though that the guy with the popcorn bucket was trying to hand it off to Tommy and the security guard? Yeah, the security guard was like, "No, dude," and then he took it back. But then Tommy ended up getting a popcorn bowl
Tommy.
anyway. I don't know if it was the same exact bowl or not. But another thing, the way that King threw himself to the outside after getting hit in the head with that clock or whatever the fuck it was, that was pretty insane. Like, he got some air, dude.
So then Lawler took his turn beating up Dreamer in the crowd with various objects as well. A couple of smart members of the crowd chanted, "Lawler likes 14-year-olds."
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Is that true? Does he really like 14-year-olds?
Well,
in a platonic way, I'm sure.
Look, all there is that Lawler took some groupies back to his hotel that he had no reason to believe were under the age of 18, that may or may not have actually been under the age of 18. That's all we're going to say about
These
that.
are just allegations. We're not saying anything as fact here.
Yeah, we aren't a jury. We're just
Lawler,
wrestling fans.
Lawler ripped Dreamer's ECW shirt off and then wiped his ass with it.
Oh yeah. He
Yeah,
did the floss with it.
that's pretty cool that he pulled down his tights to reveal a different set of tights that he was wearing under. He didn't actually get his butt out.
Lawler
I'm sure you
gave-
know about that, Lambent.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Also, did you forget about Lawler getting choked out by a belt?
No, I didn't forget about it. I didn't go over it.
Well, I believe that's important info. He was getting strangled by a belt. That's
They
extreme.
both got beat up with the belt.
Extreme.
ECW.
ECW.
This
ECW.
was the ECW match of the night.
Yeah, you gotta put it over, Colin. Come on, dude.
So Lawler gave the referee a DDT because why not, I guess. Lights went out. When they came back, Rick Rude was there and he hit Dreamer with a trash can. Dreamer bladed. Rude threw Dreamer back into the ring and then left. Dreamer kicked out, so Lawler killed the ref again. Dreamer was about to give Lawler a pile driver when the lights went out again. This time it was Jake the Snake Roberts in the ring who got a big time reaction.
Woo!
Yeah, I didn't know what this was about.
Jake the Snake.
He clotheslined Dreamer, and then crowd chanted DDT, so Roberts obliged them and gave it to Dreamer. Jake then decided that he was going to beat up Lawler too, so he gave him a clothesline and then he left.
Did you happen to
enough.
catch Jake the Snake's promo that he did into the camera?
Oh yeah.
I did. I can't remember what he said though. Do you know?
He was like, "Your God taketh, I giveth. Your God
That's
taketh
right.
away." And then he like
That's
spit
right.
on the camera and walked out. Dude, he's a beast. He probably snorted like 5 lines of coke before he went out there too. So he's all.
He probably
hyped.
actually did.
He had a nice gut going on.
So, Colin, I don't know if you know, or maybe Camel can explain this to me, but when they turn the lights off, how do the wrestlers know like where they're going? Because it's really dark, right? So how did Jake the Snake find himself in the ring?
I think it's probably not as dark as it looks on TV.
Yeah.
And they use the camera. They use the camera smartly to make it look like it's actually like pitch black, and they don't point the camera in certain directions and that sort of thing.
I see.
And from backstage, I mean, it's just a straight line to the ring, so just run forward.
That too, I guess.
Other times they'll have people like get under the ring and hide there and stuff.
I also
Depends on the
noticed
promotion.
the lights were out like longer and longer each time. Like I don't know if they forgot where
Who
the
was
lights.
the Thor guy who came out? I don't even remember.
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah,
So
we gotta let Colin do his thing.
Dreamer was about to give Lawler a DDT, and the lights went out one more time. Sunny was in the ring.
Oh, yeah,
and,
fucking
The third man.
she sprayed Dreamer in the eyes with hairspray, and then Beulah tackled Sunny, and we had a cat fight.
Love me a good cat fight.
Cat fight.
Lawler pulled Beulah off and was about to give her a pile driver, but Dreamer saved her and gave Lawler a DDT for the pin and the win.
ECW wins.
It was
This
a crazy match. There was a lot going on.
This
You got to
was
see
like-
the rabid fans. You got to see some headshots. Tommy Dreamer has to have a concussion after that.
If you're an ECW fan, you probably loved this, especially like at the time.
Oh yeah.
But if you weren't, you probably thought it sucked. Really, actually.
So
This was the ECW experience.
So yeah, I have some fans I want to point out. So Tommy actually got thrown into the guardrail. Behind the guardrail was a wheelchair guy. That'll be pictured on screen. And Tommy turned around and said, "You all right, dude?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I don't know if you guys caught that. And then also there's a really fat dude with a camera who
Oh, yeah,
needed
that
to
guy
take
was
a picture.
The mustache.
Yeah. And then we also had Burger King guy in the crowd. He's also
Who Lambert
beast.
thought was Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yeah, I thought that might have been Bubba Ray. I don't know. Nah, it looked a lot like Bubba Ray Dudley. Maybe a long-lost Dudley brother straight out of Dudleyville.
We also had a nice Asian family.
Yeah, they were looking weird.
What the heck? What do you mean by that?
I mean, it was just out of place. It was like a middle-aged Asian woman, and she's all like, yeah, slam him on the guardrail, because they were doing that thing where they, like, slam their nuts on the guardrail. Very popular move in ECW, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think that happened in every single match.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Nothing like your you-know-what's hitting the guardrail very slowly.
One more update from Lance Wright. The Sandman has found the building.
Holy shit.
Sandman was fending off security guards with a kendo stick.
You fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up.
And back to the arena. It's time for the main event. It is the franchise Shane Douglas with Francine.
Inventor of Triple H.
Versus Terry Funk versus Sabu with Bill Alfonso for the
Fucking
ECW
Alfonso.
World Heavyweight title.
The three-way dance.
Yeah, I didn't know this was an elimination match. So
Yeah.
Sabu got pinned and I was just real confused.
Kim,
I
we didn't get to that part yet.
Shut the hell up.
I didn't know that it was an elimination match at first either, but Styles did say like a minute into the match that it was. So
Oh, well, I wasn't paying attention.
Same.
Sabu and Shane Douglas worked together on Funk early, which is fine because it is an elimination match. But then while Sabu was covering Funk, Douglas inexplicably cracked a chair over Sabu's back. Sabu did some springboards and such. Shocker of the night. Terry Funk is bleeding.
Whoa. Wait, can we just point out that Terry Funk's theme fucking owns? You didn't put that over.
It was another network inserted.
It's still owned though.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a banger, dude.
It was like the Rawhide theme. Is what
Yeah,
it sounded
it was
like.
awesome. I was like, oh yeah, they brought out the bangers for Terry Funk because I didn't know they were piped in yet.
it should be noted Terry Funk was 53 in this match, the same age as The Undertaker currently.
He looked about 80.
Yeah, but he could go better than The Undertaker could.
Yeah, he could go way better than the crown jewel jobbers that we saw a month ago or whenever the fuck that was.
Mark Calloway has seen better days.
Yeah, but
One
Terry
thing
Funk still got it. You still got it. You still got it.
One thing I actually did appreciate about this match is that instead of the normal three-way protocol that you see where like one guy gets tossed out of the ring and then just two guys work together for a while, they were keeping all three involved pretty much at all times. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very well laid out.
It just wouldn't fucking end, dude.
It went on forever.
I mean, I liked it, but it took forever. And also, did you guys see when Shane Douglas took a big move and just started twerking for no reason?
I did see that. He started having a seizure in the ring.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Terry Funk's selling, which included him just yelling, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I really like Terry Funk. I want to see more of Terry Funk.
No, Terry Funk's awesome. He's legitimately one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Douglas brought a section of the steel guardrail into the ring. Sabu's first and I believe only botch of the night came when he was using the chair to leap off the chair for a springboard, and the chair just gave way and broke under his weight. But in fairness, this really wasn't Sabu's fault.
I mean, who
I thought it was for a minute.
Who told him that jumping off of chairs is really cool? Do you think he
It's
thought
just what
that
he
was
does.
cool?
It's just what he
It's
does.
Gimmick. It's what we call getting his shit in.
I mean, Honestly, I thought Sabu looked pretty damn good in this match, actually. But
Looked okay.
He had some nasty scars. Did he have that his whole career? I mean, were those?
No, he
I'm
lost
pretty
them
sure
later on.
I think he
I'm pretty
might
sure
have.
he got that in like the late '80s, working in Japan or something, or early '90s.
But also with Sabu, Joey Styles said Sabu invented using the table as a weapon.
I think that's probably true.
Wow.
Or he popularized it.
That's pretty
Damn.
cool. I didn't know that. I learned a lot of new stuff through watching.
I know
this.
he's known for not breaking tables. It's kind of an internet meme of his.
Well, he broke the tables.
He definitely broke it tonight.
Oh
That's
yeah,
definitely
he
true.
went hard.
Some geeks in the crowd chanted, "Let's go, Shane." And in response, Joey Styles said, "Fans trying to really get behind the hardcore legendary Funk here." Okay, Styles.
Yeah, Shane. I'm not a big Shane Douglas fan.
No one really is.
You look like a dumbass.
He was just a guy. He was a geek.
And he's swearing all the time for no reason.
That's what he does. He swears.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool that Triple H got a lot from him, but I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of him in this match.
Todd Gordon came out to beat up Bill Alfonso and help Terry Funk, but it led to Sabu doing a top rope double leg drop through a table onto both Alfonso and Todd Gordon. Sabu brought in a ladder and knocked out the ref again because why not?
Oh yeah.
Colin, did you see Sabu see Todd Gordon? Was I the only one who saw that? Because Joey Styles said that Sabu didn't see Todd Gordon.
Well, no, he said he didn't see Bill Alfonso.
Yeah.
Because Alfonso is his manager.
Pinhead.
Oh, okay.
So he wouldn't want to, kill him through a table.
He killed him, though. Thank God. Fuck Bill Alfonso.
And so the Sandman came out at this point and started beating up Sabu. Douglas and Funk both pinned Sabu, and so we knew we were getting a new champion tonight.
Woo!
Yes.
The security guards came out trying to get Sandman, and then Sabu did a springboard onto the outside onto all of them, so they all went falling down. Nice domino spot. This led to an ECW chant.
ECW, ECW.
Some geek wrestlers came out to help get Sandman and Sabu out of there.
They're the cops.
And then
they were
the cops.
Finest.
The cops.
Oh.
The cops came out, and then after Sabu jumped onto them, the geek wrestlers came out to help too.
Did you guys see that one cop's haircut?
No.
He's like bald on top, but like super, like he had like an afro in the back. It was like Drew Gooden's haircut, but on steroids.
Definitely a real cop.
Yeah, they were real cops. It was a shoot. I mean, he had just hijacked an ambulance. Like, how can you not get the cops involved?
You do have a point.
All the geek wrestlers stayed to watch. One of the other big surprises of the night, Dory Funk Jr. came out to help his brother briefly and then left. That was about
he chased
seconds.
down, was it Francine?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Francine, I think, was going after, because they were beating up, Shane was holding Terry and Francine was slapping Terry, so.
I wanted to see Terry give Francine a pile driver so bad.
I mean, Dory Funk taught Francine a lesson backstage, if you know what I mean.
So, apparently no one had ever kicked out of Shane Douglas's belly to belly, and Terry Funk did, and Styles made a really big deal out of this, but the crowd didn't react to it at all, so they must have done a pretty shitty job of getting that move over.
Yeah, shades of Bailey.
But eventually, Douglas hit a second belly to belly and pinned, Bailey to belly, and he pinned Funk and won the title. Trash rained into the ring. Some people chanted bullshit.
The franchise.
After this, all the Dudleys who were out there as part of the Geek Wrestlers watching got into the ring. Gertner wanted Douglas to join up with the Dudleys. Bam Bigelow and Chris Candido, who are Douglas's stablemates, came out to dispute this. And at this point, everyone, including all the geeks, started brawling. Dudley's cleared the ring of everyone. Balls Mahoney and Axel Rotten came out with chairs and began killing the Dudleys. Eventually, the Dudleys got the better of it. One of the absolute greatest shames of the pay-per-view came as the Gangsters, well, actually, it wasn't the Gangsters, it was New Jack and the Eliminators came out, and we didn't get to hear Natural Born Killers playing. And instead,
no, this replacement was pretty good.
Yeah,
instead, it was just some network insert rap song.
In the ghetto.
Yeah, that's how.
Well, the other thing is when they came out, you see this like small figure like slowly making his way to the ring with a crutch, and then all of a sudden it's fucking Perry Saturn, dude. I was like, what the heck? Perry Saturn's here. I thought he was already at WCW or something.
He had a knee brace on too.
Yeah, and he did like a flying elbow drop, and it was insane, dude. He got mad air on that.
So the New Jack and the Eliminators finally were the ones to defeat the Dudleys along with Balls Mahoney and Axel. New Jack killed, and I do mean killed, Joel Gertner with a chair shot.
Yeah,
that was
fucking
rough.
brutal.
This was by far the worst chair shot.
Why would they do that to him? He's just a manager.
Seriously, that was like one of the worst chair shots I think I've ever seen in my life.
He might as well have gotten on the ground, taken out his blades or whatever, because New Jack's notorious for stabbing people, and just fucking murdered him right there, dude. I mean, he lost 10 years off of his life with that chair shot.
Yeah, probably. It was bad.
Ouch.
Showing off the air with the baby faces, celebrating. When this main event segment was all said and done, you can add 4 more to the death count on this show.
Are you counting?
Should we throw Perry Saturn on there?
No.
Are you counting the long-haired dude like Cronus or whatever?
I counted everyone. I counted everyone who was out
Cronus dead?
Yeah,
Cronus
is
dead.
dead. He's a goner.
So yeah, you can add 4 more as.
What's the final death count?
Yeah, what's the
John Cronus. I believe this makes 8.
Woo!
John Cronus died in 2007 of heart failure resulting from an enlarged heart.
It's a damn shame.
Classic steroids death right there.
Oh, yeah.
Hack Myers died in 2015 from complications of a brain surgery. Axel Rotten died in 2016 in a McDonald's bathroom from a heroin overdose.
What the fuck? In a McDonald's bathroom?
Yep.
Oh, my God.
And, Balls Mahoney died later that same year from a heart attack while watching Jeopardy.
What the fuck? I didn't know that. God dang. You got the whole case file out.
Yep. But yeah, I actually liked this. The main event was good.
Do you think Balls Mahoney got the question wrong? Because, you know, when I watch Jeopardy, I like to yell out the answer.
Yeah, I hear Ferg Dog likes to do that, too.
Yeah, shout-outs to our friend Ferg Dog.
Huh?
Yeah, I liked the main event, actually. Best match on the show, I thought, for sure. And then the post-match, was another one of those, if you're an ECW fan, you probably loved it, especially at the time. But now it's sort of, I don't know, it's just a bunch of stuff happened.
Yeah, the chair shots were kind of hard to watch, too. To the head, at least.
Yeah.
I didn't, none of them, I expected to see stuff like that on an ECW show. So none of them really bothered me. But when
talking about the Goldner one, and there was
when New Jack, when New Jack hit Gertner while he had his hands held behind his back in the head,
God,
that was bad. That was, like I said, that was legitimately maybe the worst chair shot I've ever seen in my life.
That was shades of The Rock against Mankind, when The Rock was beating the shit out of him with the chair, while poor Mick Foley was handcuffed. And
Yeah, he hit him like 12 times though, as opposed to once.
Yeah, but it was up there as far as that goes. I don't know, like, if I was in 1997 watching that, would I still be appalled by the chair shots? I don't know if I would. I mean, mainly because I would be 2, but I'm saying if I was, like, my age at that time. Like, people had to have known that wasn't a good hit.
Of course they knew. It's just ridiculous revisionist history to say that they didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird that they would still do that. Like,
they didn't give a shit about people's well-being at the time. They just wanted to see some dudes kill each other.
Let's clarify that New Jack doesn't give a fuck.
It's really.
He still doesn't give a fuck.
It's one of the more tragic things about ECW, really, is that they actually, really, frankly, they did have to know that what they were doing was not good. But, like, if you look up and down the ECW roster, there's not a whole lot else that these guys could have done with their lives other than this to make a living.
That's true.
A living this good, at least. So it's like they sacrificed that to be able to make a living. And, all of these guys talk about how it was the best time of their life and all this stuff. So it's just kind of tragic, I guess.
And then you got Sabu, who's like, man, I was just staying because Paul Heyman said there is going to be Sabu action figures.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. The death count is only 8, but if you add the people who are, like, on death's door, it's probably more like 20. Like,
didn't Sandman, like, die and was revived,
Yeah,
too?
He died and revived and then came back to wrestle on an ECW show in the same night, according to Tommy Dreamer. So we don't know if that's true or not. But, yeah, there was some ECW show that Tommy Dreamer was the head of booking of, and he was told that Sandman had overdosed, and he got revived in time to wrestle that night. I don't remember what show it was, but I saw it on some random YouTube video.
Really, as far as this show goes in general, I've seen far better ECW shows, and really, objectively, this was probably a bad show. Like, there wasn't really anything. The main event was good, but other than that, there was really nothing else that was very good at all. But I still admit that I had fun watching this, really.
Yeah, the main event was fun. I liked the squash match with Bigelow and Spike Dudley. The tag team match was okay, but RVD and Al Snow freaking sucked. It's just awful.
Yeah, I gotta say, still get shit on Hog Wild because this is still better than Hog Wild, but I don't know if it's better than Survivor Series. I think
I would say
the main 2 things that really made this pay-per-view way worse than it had to be was that Taz was on the show. And
why do you hate Taz?
Wow, you are such a Taz hater.
Dude, I can't take him seriously. He's like a...
RVD isn't the worst match of the night, but Taz is your go-to to hate.
Taz had he had a worse match. And
I disagree with that.
My problem with Taz is that I'm like 6 feet tall. He's like 5'5", and he tries to be intimidating. I can't take that seriously, dude. He's a vanilla midget.
Yeah, he's out there looking like a Goomba.
Yeah, he just looks like a retard. And this whole no-selling thing, I think, is kind of stupid. It made Chris Candido look like a little bitch when he was actually doing way cooler moves than Taz was. Ooh, look at me. I'm going to do a suplex and break a guy's neck. Like, that's not cool, Taz. Learn to wrestle, you dumbass.
Jeez.
And then, yeah, so that match sucked. And then, yeah, the RVD match sucked. But it wasn't RVD's fault. They booked him into a horrible situation.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I won't blame RVD, really, all that much for that match.
He did his shit,
horrible.
but they They were like, oh yeah, we need to get Al Snow in here.
Fucking Al Snow.
No one wants to see Al Snow. Also, I thought the dude at the end of the show, the long-haired guy, I thought that was Stevie Richards, but that was apparently Cronus. I don't even know who the fuck Cronus is, but yeah, we already went over that.
Some dead guy, apparently.
Yeah,
He's one of the Eliminators.
really good at the flippy shit.
He did a frog splash.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing some more ECW. I think there's a cool vibe going on. It's just a lot of fun, you know.
Yep.
It's fun
I feel you
times.
on that.
Yeah, I do want to go back and watch like one of the better ECW pay-per-views someday eventually.
So are we wrapping it up? Does anyone else have any final thoughts on Hardcore Heaven?
I think we can wrap it up.
Oh yeah, and one last thing, Joey Styles fucking sucks.
Yeah, Lamette really hates Joey Styles.
Yeah, I was gonna cut a promo on him. I just really don't like the commentary style. It doesn't do anything to make the matches better. Like, there's no storytelling going on. If there is storytelling, it's not as good as like a JR would, or even King or somebody like that. It's just Irish whip to the corner, reversal Irish whip, power bomb. It's like, I don't need to hear that shit. So I'll be watching future ECW pay-per-views on lower volume.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, do you want to plug your Twitter or whatever?
Yeah, okay. What's up, guys? Thank you for making it through the video. Make sure to follow us all on Twitter. They'll be on the bottom of the video. I believe the next show we're going to be trying to do an independent wrestling promotion next. I don't know.
Heck, I never hold this.
Yeah,
Just
like we were
recently.
going to maybe do remember we talked about the Juggalo wrestling?
Oh yeah.
Maybe a Juggalo show, maybe a TNA show.
I want to.
We'll figure it out.
At some point.
Yeah, but still open to more suggestions. Just probably won't be the next pay-per-view or the next episode. It might be though. I don't know. Depends what the suggestions
If it's
are.
good enough.
Yeah, who knows?
Don't
Throw us
get
some
your
It's not
suggestions.
Disassemble
Might as
the
well.
fucking dismember.
yeah. Don't request that bullshit. Yeah. Hit me up. Slide in my DM.
DMs be open.
Same.
Sponsored
this was
by
episode-
Coke Zero.
This was episode number 3 of Boys Talk Wrestling. We will see you next time.
BTW. BTW.
GW.
BTW.
GW.